Kiss.
Hey, it's your boy, my case with also known as Akins, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Back with another Who's Better. This time I have Kawhi Leonard versus Kevin Durant. Who was better in the 2018-2019 NBA regular season? Kawhi Leonard in 60 games played, 34 minutes per game, 26.6 points per game, shot 49.6 from the field, 37.1% from the three-point line, 7.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 0.4 blocks, 1.8 steals per game, 85.4% from the free throw line. Kevin Durant in 78 games played in 34.6 minutes per game, averaged 26 points per game, shot 52.1 from the field, shot 35.3 for the three-point line, 6.4 rebounds, 5.9 assists per game, 1.1 blocks per game, 0.7 steals, 88.5% from the free throw line. That being said, who is better between the two? Now, these two players possibly can be the best two players in the NBA. We know what happened with Kevin Durant in the playoffs, but and we know that LeBron James did not make the playoffs. But just given the fact that they both played in the regular season, they both had crazy playoff runs, I would say that these two players were the best in the NBA in the 2018-2019 NBA regular season. So it's going to be hard determining which player was better and which player is currently better overall. It used to be easy choosing a player between Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard, but now it's gotten very, very hard. So we know that Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, is a better two-way player. And two-way player is a term that I really do not like because it just shows you that you're giving more credit to a player that is capable of playing defense when we know that the offensive side of the ball is extremely way harder than the defensive side of the ball. But doesn't matter at that point. Kawhi Leonard is still the better two-way player than Kevin Durant when it comes to being able to contribute on the offensive side and being able to contribute and shut down defenders on the perimeter on the defensive side. We saw what he did in the playoffs, how he completely shut down Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I don't know if Kevin Durant, if he was guarding Giannis Antetokounmpo, wouldn't be able to do that. So in my opinion, Kawhi Leonard is a better two-way player than Kevin Durant. And when it comes to on-ball scoring ability, Kawhi Leonard is an isolation assassin. Kawhi Leonard gets to his spots. Kawhi Leonard is very comfortable with his handle, tight handle, a mid-range pull-up jump shooter. He reminds me a lot like Michael Jordan when it comes to getting to his spots, but Kawhi Leonard is probably the closest thing we've seen to Kobe Bryant when it comes to being comfortable shooting on the mid-range, being comfortable scoring at all points on the floor. Now, Kevin Durant, though, when Kevin Durant has the ball, Kevin Durant is also a crazy isolation scorer. And we know that Kawhi Leonard, bulk of his points comes in the pick and roll, using the pick and roll to facilitate his own shot. Kevin Durant doesn't need that. Kevin Durant is an isolation assassin. He has handles. This brother can pull up from 30. So on the ball, I would rather have the ball in Kevin Durant's hands because Kevin Durant is unstoppable with the basketball in his hands. Even though Kawhi Leonard is great at isolation, Kawhi Leonard is great at getting his spots, having the ball on ball and letting, say, go to work and go get me a bucket. I'm going with Kevin Durant all day long because Kevin Durant can pull up and shoot over anybody and pull up for 30. So that's how good and crazy Kevin Durant is on ball. And then we talk about off ball. I had to break these things down to you guys because they're so close and they were the best two players in the NBA and the best two players in this past postseason. So I had to break everything down because it's hard to judge who is the better player. But off ball, if you look at off ball and just really catch and shoot, even though Kawhi Leonard averaged a better three-point percentage than Kevin Durant in the regular season, Kevin Durant is still a better shooter than Kawhi Leonard overall. Kevin Durant, he took more shots, took more three-point shots than Kawhi Leonard. Also played more games in the regular season than Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard had a lot of games he was doing load management. So that's why his stats may look a little better when it comes to three-point percentage than Kevin Durant. But don't get it twisted. Kevin Durant is still a better shooter overall than Kawhi Leonard. And off-ball, catch and shoot, I'd rather have Kevin Durant than Kawhi Leonard. And then when it comes to strictly just talking about defense, we know that Kawhi Leonard's a lockdown defender, can guard 1 through 4. The things, like I said, he did to Giannis Antetokounmpo made him inefficient, made Giannis Antetokounmpo not even a factor in the playoffs. Was very impressive. Kevin Durant is a good defender. He became a great defender playing with the Golden State Warriors. But that's easy to do when you have Klay Thompson. You also have Draymond Green kind of controlling the paint and basically being like the safety in football for their defense. So it's kind of easy for you to become a better defender. And everybody was like, Kevin Durant's a good two-way player, but it was last year everybody was talking about Kevin Durant should have got Defensive Player of the Year awards. Like votes, and I was just like, that's nonsense. We know the reason why he's improved his defense is because of Klay Thompson, it's because of Draymond Green. But Kawhi Leonard, no matter where he goes, he is an excellent defender. So just defending wise, Kawhi Leonard is a better defender than Kevin Durant. So that brings me down to their style of play. What type of style of play do you rather watch? Would you rather watch Kawhi Leonard's style of play, which can kind of old school type of vibe to it, kind of similar to Michael Jordan, very similar to Kobe Bryant, the long twos, the fadeaways, get into his spots, a pull up, jump shots? Or would you rather have, or would you rather watch and have the style of play of Kevin Durant, somebody that can cross you up, pull up, shoot, fade away, can do really everything on the court. Me personally, I prefer Kevin Durant's game because Kevin Durant, everybody loves a little bit more flash. Everybody loves a little bit more sauciness. So that's what Kevin Durant is going to bring you. Kawhi Leonard is very simple, but that's no knock. It's just a preference on what style do you prefer. So if I'm breaking all this down to you guys. If I had to pick who was the better player in the 2018-2019 NBA regular season, it's really a toss up, but I'm going to give the edge to Kevin Durant, specifically because Kevin Durant played more games. He played 78 games. Kawhi Leonard played 60 games. So I think that Kawhi Leonard, if he would have played more games, then it's already neck and neck, but it would be even more close and even be more tight. But I think that Kevin Durant had the better 2018-2019 NBA regular season. Now, this is the challenging part because, like I said, just because you have a better season overall than a player, does not make you a better player overall than that player. So who's the better player overall? And doing the eye test and watching the game, even though Kawhi Leonard went on a crazy run in this postseason, and where I called him the best player in the game, which he is, because when you go and win a championship, you are the best player in the game. But a lot of people would have said that if Giannis Antetokounmpo would have won the whole thing, he would have been the best player in the game. We certainly would know that's not necessarily true. So you get that edge when you win the whole thing, and people start noticing like, okay, this is the best player in the game at the moment because everybody's a prisoner of the moment. But overall, doing the eye test, I think Kevin Durant is a better overall player than Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kevin Durant's not going to play for an entire season. So when he comes back, Kawhi Leonard's probably going to be overall the better player than Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant's coming off a crazy Achilles injury. But if we're just talking about the 2018-2019 NBA regular season, who had the better season? I would say Kevin Durant. And who was the better player overall before Kevin Durant got hurt? I would have said doing the eye test and even just watching the games or watching the playoffs, even though Kawhi Leonard was crazy, went on one of the most spectacular runs in playoff history I've ever seen. Kevin Durant was just right there in the postseason as averaging crazy stats as well. And I would have said that Kevin Durant would have been the better player overall. And it's a reason why people were saying that if the Golden State Warriors had Kevin Durant, then the Toronto Raptors probably wouldn't have had no chance or wouldn't have won the championship like they did. So let me know in the comments below who you guys rolling. Are you rolling with Kevin Durant? Are you rolling with Kawhi Leonard? It's your boy, Mike K. Smith, also known as AK, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. 8 Kids Nation, thank you for the support. I'm gone, man. Peace.